Pastor Archie Robinson, and representing two organizations in particular that really coexist or actually came to about because of the question I'm getting ready to ask you about homicide. One is Pastor's Own Point. It actually started because of Michael and Monique. Also San Diego Compassion Project, which was also started to help the families of the ones of the homicide victims. San Diego Area Congregation for Change, which actually helps the re-entry, and another organization just started because of the things that are happening in the neighborhood called CAST, trying to come together to try to help the neighborhoods win back their community or their part of where they live. So the question is, as stated earlier, homicide and gang violence is still a community concern. What is your plan for increasing safety in the community and decreasing the homicide rate?
I've talked a lot about in this campaign about whoever's elected has about 1 year. This is our job interview. We have 1 year to serve you and 1 year for you to judge us before we're up for re-election. So I talk about a year, and in year one, I have a specific safety plan with 4 points. One, helping solve unsolved crimes. Working with each of you to lead a community campaign to change this idea that snitching is not okay. When folks don't tell, when we know who's committed a violent crime or a murder or a homicide, what we have is, what do they say? An eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. We have to stop the cycle of retaliation, and we have to step up as a community to help solve some of these unsolved murders for the families and to get the criminals off the street. Two, I want to work with you, Hammock, Pastor Own Points, and others to fund and support a year-round gun buyback program, not just at Christmas time, but to get guns off of our streets and out of our communities and out of the hands of the wrong people on a year-round basis to reduce gun violence. Three is a community campaign that I call Get It Together. I'm still working on the topic. You can let me know if you like that or not. Get It Together is both an individual responsibility and a community responsibility. Individually, we've got to clean up our yards. We've got to paint out graffiti when we see it. When we go out in public, we have to carry ourselves with respect and dignity. If we're going to tell a young person to pull up their pants, we have to be carrying ourselves in the same kind of way. As a community, we need to take care of our community. I hope the churches will help adopt blocks or miles in the community to clean them up, to create a love and respect for our community, a love and respect for ourselves that will carry over to others. And then lastly, as I have done for years, work with high school dropout, gang-affiliated youth to help them get back on the right track, to give them an opportunity to have a job and an education and not just prison and a life of hopelessness. And I want to lead those efforts as your council person.
Thank you, Ms. Cole.
Thank you. When you have jobs and prosperity in a community, you use less alcohol, less drugs, less high school dropouts, less gang, less criminal activity. When you have jobs and prosperity. So what I want to do is create those jobs. We have jobs for youth through Connect to Careers, through the Aspen Institute, which the city has gotten a $500,000 grant to support youth programs, youth jobs. And I'm going to fast track that to make sure we have those summer jobs for our youth because they need jobs. Connect to Careers is funded through Workforce Partnership. The mayor has asked the companies and businesses to work and invest in our youth, and they're doing it. He asked that back in March, and that's happening now. We need to invest in our youth to make sure that they have jobs and that they have skills, and we close the gap of jobs and them having no jobs. We have to close that gap and give them skills, and the companies have to not only give them jobs, but give them careers so that they can be prosperous, so they can have a vision, because they don't have a vision. And what I plan to do with safety also, being a former police officer, what I'm going to do is work with our police department. We have 136 recruits coming out in the 2014 Academy. I'm going to work with them for community-oriented policing. I'm going to work to create neighborhood watch programs in our communities, because I did that back in the early 1990s and it worked. And we're going to do it again. I guess I got that from STOP. So we're going to continue that program in our communities, the neighborhood watch programs in our communities, working with the San Diego police officers. And we have to make sure that we retain our police officers because they're moving to other principalities because of the jobs pays more than our San Diego police officers get. So I want to make sure that we retain our police officers. Is that a stop? I'm sorry, okay.